I'm going to make a cord of about 5 centimetres diameter. I'm going to make it with some Berkshire wool and with some merino wool. I'm making a cord that it starts off as 1 metre will give you sufficient length for for a handle for a shoulder bag. I'm going to start off by just draping some merino over my bubble wrap, which is bubble side up. Doesn't have to be in any particular order. And I'm doing that from one end of my metre piece of plastic to the other. Then I'm going to take my Berkshire wool and I'm just going to lay 2 layers of Berkshire over the purple merino. So I'm going to lay it out. On the second layer, I'm going to lay the wool in the opposite direction. So I'm now going to lay the wool running vertically to my body. My next step is to wet this all down, and to wet it down I'm going to use a bowl of water with some soapy water in it, and I'm using shampoo to create the soap in here. I'm using a ball brush to sprinkle the water on. Can you pause that, please? I'm now going to place a piece of plastic over my wet wool, and I'm going to press it down gently. The reason I'm doing this is to press the air out of the wool and to press the water in. And when I look at it, I can see that the water hasn't fully gone in. It's still got lots of dry patches. And so to counter that, I'm going to add some more water at this stage. And give it another press with the plastic. On the ends of my wool, I'm going to leave 1 hand span that I'm not going to felt. And the reason I'm going to do that is what we're going to join onto our bag. I'm just going to pull that down into frame so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the end of my cord. So I'm going to leave 1 hand span there, which I'm not going to felt. And that hand span will be used to connect to the bag. And I'm going to leave 1 hand span on either side of my cord. The next step is to roll the cord up. I'm just turning it over and turning it into a nice fine sausage. I'm going to continue that nice sausage all the way up along the cord. And I'm going to leave that hand span unrolled. My next step is to start the rolling process. And to do that, I'm going to pull my bubble wrap over the cord and gently start rolling from the middle. Now, I want the cord to be round, not flat, so my initial rolling has to be very gentle. And I'll continue with that gentle rolling until the cord has firmed up and I'm able to then roll it with my bare hands. But initially, I'm going to use the bubble wrap. I've now rolled the cord in the plastic until it is nice and firm. And then I'm going to take some soap in my hands and continue rolling just with my bare hands at this stage, gradually working my way along the cord until it's very, very firm under my hands. You will notice at this point that it has stretched quite a lot. That's not a problem because as we continue to roll it, it will then start to shrink. So rolling with some soap on your hands until the cord feels very, very firm and thick under your hands. So there's no movement anymore of the cord. And you continue doing that rolling motion, once more leaving the ends unrolled because that's where it's going to attach to our bag. I've now rolled that so it's very, very firm, and I'm going to remove any excess water by squeezing it out. And then I'm going to start the pulling or shrinkage process. And there's a number of ways we can do that. We can actually drop our cord onto the table, firm up and shrink those fibres. The other way we can do it is with plenty of soap on our hands, is to give your cord almost a massage, a little bit like kneading bread. And again, you'll start to feel the cord firming up under your hands and shrinking. And once we've shrunk it back to its original 1 meter length, then your cord is ready to be used as a bag handle. But you do want a handle that's going to be robust. And so this shrinkage process of tossing the handle and massaging the handle to make it as robust as possible is very important. When you think it is shrunk to the desired length, measure it against your original handle and check that if it is the correct length. And if it has shrunk to where you want it to, you can then rinse it in water, just clean water until all of the soap is removed, and then soak it for about 10 minutes in a tub full of fresh water with a cap full of vinegar, and that restores the pH of the wool. Your bag handle is now ready to be used to attach to your bag.